What's up there, banana heads? Guess what? I'm going to show you a simple trick I use when I'm going through tons of magic cards to make sure I got good ones. When I find something like in a Goodwill box or something that's super rare or an odd card, like this one. No, I'm just kidding. This is Kada Rada Ertakeld. Whenever Rada Ertakeld attacks, you may add 2 red mana or tap her and add 1 green. So, what do I do? There is a test here where we can use an eye loop and find the red L inside of the green. But you know what? That's not always expeditious for us to get that loop out. So what I do is I have a card here that I cut, such as this, like that. And I have ones from different eras. Okay, and these are just a couple. So I'll cut a card from different eras, and then what I will do is take those and just use your smartphone. You can take a picture of it, use your photo thing. You can see how that's getting like that. I don't have but just compare those. And one way of doing this is if you look, let's see if we can get this to focus. Let's really test it. I don't think the video camera is so hot for this, but the camera in this smartphone is amazing. And when you get up into this green dot, ooh, look at that finger. Those little whitish yellow areas there look like little volcanoes, so like a little M. So you can follow the dot pattern M as it goes up the ridge. I wish I could show you. Just you know what? For the thumbnail in this, that will demonstrate what I'm talking about with that little volcano. But you can do the same thing with these other things, because don't use that red L as a bellwether. Similarly, I've had people bring me cards that they are sure are fake because there's like brown here. The outline around here is brown instead of red. That's not a dead ringer for a fake card. Another great way of checking a card is beyond bendability is looking at the card stock, because it's pretty much gone unchanged. But for me, I like just doing this. If you know what era you're using, like those 2 black, see that? The black is a good bellwether as well, because you can look at little patterns. For example, like the green dot here. Get this up. All right. So with this green one, remember I said there's a volcano there, right? So in the middle of that little yellow and white area, the volcano, I call it. Similarly here, where the black is, when you go real close up on that black swoop at the bottom, you will see that the pattern of dots there, they go 7 down to the crook of the volcano. So 7 down. And there'll be 2 faint dots on the top of this. I wish I had a little better like a microscope thing, but I don't. But I will take a picture close up, and that will be the thumbnail. So not just... not to mention, a great way is these patterns within the Magic the Gathering logo, particularly the M pattern here by this foot. I do the same thing. I'll check the foot. And I do that with dual lands before I sell them. Anything I find that is like crazy expensive, and even things I buy that are not from Card Kingdom. Oh, Card Kingdom, I love you. Or from Lang's, my local game store. Anything I do not... want any trouble with, I'll use these methods, because the green L is, finding that red L inside the green dot is all well and good, but you should use many different bellwethers. For example, in rares and mythics here in recent sets, you get that little holographic stamp inside of there. And if you go real close up on that, let me grab one real quick. I think I got a rare right on here. So if you go real close up on that, which we're not going to be able to do with this camera. Here we go. All right. So what we can do is, if we get right up on that, we'll see what... Okay, you'll see a green mana symbol inside of there, right? But if you zoom in really close, you see the little Planeswalker symbol there? Well, inside of it is a coding. So that is going to be very hard. These holograms, when you look up close, there's very interesting things in there beyond the mana symbols. This lines of coding written on the Planeswalker symbols. It's really neat. So that's a good way beyond that. Not to mention, the font used here, okay, a lot of people will say like use this font, but as you see, like this font here is a little thinner than this font. You see that? So that's not a good thing. We don't want to use fonts to decide, you know, on whether or not, like this bottom part here, like that fish, you do see the E and N. You see the difference between those two. There's a slight difference, unless I'm just seeing things. However, I like to use the stamp if available, but then going to the back of these cards is using the patterns of these dots beyond just the red L. So there is my secret. Taking like some basic lands, and we just want to get these up against here like that. And everything should line up. Plus, we should get very similar. So when you use, even if you're using like a loop, it's still good to do this. Not just examine what could be like a very well done fake, but have a good one, a real one right next to it, just like that. So look at that. See how we do that? We can examine, examine, examine. See, I cut these just so I have that little bit of space there, and I can go ahead and examine, 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 right? Very smart, huh? We're not born yesterday. Look at it. We can even do 3 of them if we're real worried. Maybe we can squeak another one. Look at these balls. Oh my goodness. Balls of fire. So that's how it's done, folks. That's how I do it. And that's how you guys know that when you get magic cards from me on eBay or wherever, they're always real. So have a goodsies. Up. Oh, it hit the battlefield, so I'm exiled. I'll see you guys later.